fans have been piling in here to East Naples Community Park. They are excited to see Championship Saturday here at the Zing Zang Championship Court and the gold medal match for the mixed pro doubles, as Simone Jardim and Kyle Yates, the #1 seed, will square off against Lucy Kovalova and Matt Wright, the #2 seed. It is 84 degrees. Heat index not as bad as it has been earlier this week, only 89 degrees. On Friday, it was in triple digits most of the day. But we are just about set, and Simone Jardim will control the first serve.
And this should be a very, very exciting match. 6 months ago, these teams played against each other in the national tournament, Matt and Lucy winning that one. So I know that Kyle and Simone are not going to want to give up their U.S. Open titles they own here.
Yeah, we mentioned at the top that it was Jardim and Yates that won the gold in a matchup against Kovalova and Wright last year, and they side out to start this match. And Kovalova and Wright actually got up to a good start in that match here last year. They won the first game 11-6, but then fell in the next two games 11-5, 11-2. Wright flicks it off the net cord, and if you're new to pickleball, each side gets each server before the service changes side to the other side of the net, with the exception being the opening serve. As you saw, Jardim only got to one, and a nice put away there, and that'll give the serve back now to Yates and Jardim.
And they'll play the best 2 out of 3 to 11, win by 2. And you talked about last year, and today this is the 5th match to get here to the finals. Lucy and Matt did go, they did get contested when they played against Paranto and Farias. It took them 3 to take that. Simone and Kyle pretty much uncontested all the way to the final.
Matt cut in front of Lucy to try and take that one and ends up hitting it into the net. So our first point of the match is on the board.
So that's a pattern that you're going to see regularly throughout this match, is that both of the guys, Yates and Wright, are going to look to threaten, to cover the middle of the net, to see if they can intercept a ball that's still a little bit high, like you saw right there.
Well, that was right on cue, Mark.
I mean, it's so valuable. It's so valuable if you can get the ball when it's high above the net, because you can hit down on it. And so we call that a poach, when you come across in front of your partner to intercept that ball. And Yates gave a clinic on it right there.
And Kyle is the youngest player on the court tonight, but extremely experienced.
Won a gold in his first ever tournament he ever played in pickleball at the age of 19.
I was there that night.
Wow. So here's a great example of why pickleball is not just about hitting hard, not just about offense, but also defending well to give yourself a chance to win. And you saw Jardim dig that ball out. It was down near her feet. She got one more ball back, giving her a chance to finish the point.
And that was smart by Lucy, changing that up. Kyle not necessarily expecting her to go behind him, but perhaps get into just a dinking pattern with Simone. Good job.
All 4 of these players do have a tennis background. Kovalova moved from Slovenia to Kansas to play tennis at Wichita State. She puts it into the net there. Matt Wright, he played tennis at the University of Michigan. Simone Jardim, a tennis background. She actually was the tennis coach at Michigan State for a period of time. And Kyle Yates played high school tennis at Cypress Lake High School right here in Fort Myers. Great patience. Simone going for the around the post, but she's not able to get it in bounds. That is a legal shot in pickleball. It does not have to go over the net, but it does have to land in bounds, and that effort by Jardim does not.
Of course, one of the things that newer viewers will have to be aware of is what's known as the non-volley zone, and that's that 7-foot space between the net and that first white line. The red space that you see in the court is the non-volley zone, also known as the kitchen. Players are not allowed to play volleys. They're not allowed to hit the ball out of the air if they're standing in that zone. So you'll see the players do what they're doing here. They come very close to it. They're allowed to reach over it. They just can't be volleying if they're in that space. So it's a real advantage to get up close to that ball, try to intercept it when it's high, but be careful not to volley in the kitchen or you'll be awarded a fault.
Yeah, so Lucy just went behind Kyle again, catching him once again by surprise. She's not going to want to get too predictable with that.
Great backhand there by Kovalova.
And she just set that up perfectly.
Yeah, so those soft, low shots that you hit back and forth are sometimes known as a dink. And the goal with those shots isn't necessarily to win the point, but it's to put the ball in a position where your opponents can't do much damage. And so you're going to see the players, you're seeing it right here now, play those dinks back and forth to each other, patiently waiting, hoping one of them hits a ball that's slightly elevated, and then they can attack.
Jardim hits it into the net, so that'll make it 2-3-1. When we say the score, it is the serving team score first, followed by the receiving teams, followed by which server it is.
Wow.
So there's an example of a ball that's slightly too high. Matt Wright is a very tall player, has a long reach forward into that non-volley zone, can get it when it's above net level and hit down for a winner.
Folks here at the U.S. Open quizzed some of the more highly rated pros leading into the tournament, and Matt Wright was nearly unanimously noted for his hand quickness at the net as one of the best in the entire sport.
Yeah, he may be considered next to Ben Johns, the quickest hands for the men player.
Well, I remember when I received that email from the people that were putting that together, and it's so tough to decide because, I mean, Kyle Yates on the other side of the court. How do you say that his hands aren't quick, or that he's not fast, or he doesn't have great patience or put away skills? And so it really is an embarrassment of riches out here tonight with the level of play, the quality of players. This is going to be a treat.
And the field has just gotten deeper and better as this tournament has gone on, and Matt Wright able to put that one away. So it'll move to 5-3-2 and 4 unanswered points here for Kovalova and Wright.
And you talk about how deep the field has gotten. We saw that in Riley and Lindsay Newman earlier today. They have really improved.
Off the net cord, and Matt Wright says thank you very much. He also is noted for having one of the best overheads in the entire sport, and he puts it on display there.
Sometimes the ball hitting the top of the net hurts you, setting it up for your opponent as it did there. In the case of Kyle Yates, got up too high, and Wright knows what to do with that.
Wright showing off that hand quickness in that exchange, and it's quite a run that they've gone on. Now a 7-3 lead.
The quickness and accuracy and speed, Dave. And he's putting it all on display.
And that is long. And, you know, you mentioned it at the top, Melissa, that they did win this matchup in Indian Wells. But you talk about the U.S. Open, that's a whole nother category. They would love to get a gold. They've got a lead here. We're taking a timeout.